Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We find ourselves in that time of year. This Friday is Rosh Chodesh Av, beginning the 9 days. We've been in the 3 weeks, a time of terrible, terrible Avelus for the Korban Bayis Rishon, the Korban Bayis Sheni, and of course, plaguing a sense of Sinas Chinam. The fact that Klal Yisrael is no longer together, is that we are divided, we've been divided, and any generation that doesn't build the Beis HaMikdash in that generation, so it's Ki'ilu Charva, it's as if that generation destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, and we're still plagued by that sense of Sinas Chinam. And it's striking, it's fascinating, that we'll read in Parshas Masei, this week's Parsha, we'll read about the death of Aaron HaKohen, and we're told the date of the death. The date of the death of Aaron HaKohen, the Torah tells us, in the 40th year, Va'aron ben Shalosh v'esrim u'ma'as shana, b'moso b'hor ha'hor, and what day did he die? He died b'chodesh ha'chamishi be'echad l'chodesh. The 5th month, which is of course Av, he died on Rosh Chodesh. And that's an amazing, perhaps no coincidence, is that Aaron, who is the Oev Shalom, the Rodev Shalom, who did everything he could to bring husband and wives together, to bring the Jewish people together. So yes, his P'tira is Rosh Chodesh Av, to always remind us of what the Avoda is in these 9 days. And perhaps interesting and striking and noteworthy is that since Pesach of this year, Chutz La'aretz and Eretz Yisrael, we've been learning different parshias. We've been off because the last day of Pesach and Chutz La'aretz was Shabbos, so in Eretz Yisrael we already started the Parsha Shavua. Chutz La'aretz was laning the Pesach laning, the 8th day of Pesach laning, and we've been off for all this time. And now finally, on the day after Rosh Chodesh Av, we're starting to come together. We in Eretz Yisrael will be learning Parshas Masei, Chutz La'aretz, Matos Masei, and by the time we get to Tisha B'Av itself, next Shabbos, the 9th of Av, Dvarim will be once again united. And the fact that Klal Yisrael, perhaps symbolically, using this time, learning the lessons of Aaron, to come together once again. We're now once again united. We should be zoche to be united. I was at a Shiva call this week, a tragic story. There was a young boy, 23-year-old, who unfortunately in an accident, in a construction accident, was nifter. No children. And I visited the father, the mother, devastating, totally devastating. A Rav walked in. And a Rav, there's nothing to say. A 23-year-old young man, no, not yet married, hasn't yet built his own bias, and then from one day to the next, gone. Devastating. And the Rav comes in, a Choshev Rav came in, didn't know what to say, there's nothing to say. And he says to the father, he says, Ma'od, Tsa'arti, I was very pained to hear the Bisora Ra'ah, the terrible Bisora. And the father turned to the Rav and interrupted him, stopped him. He says, Bisora Ra'ah, bad news I could deal with. Ze Churban. It's a total destruction. Our family's destroyed. There's nothing there. The opportunity, the potential to build, to raise a family, to get married, to build a home, have children, a future is gone. It's not just a Besora Ra'ah, the father told us, Rav. It's Churban. It's destruction. Not realizing potential. Not getting to the places where we need to be, not having that sense, that palpable understanding, that sense of Shechina, that sense that we're all together and things make sense. Ze Churban. The fact that a child, 23-year-old boy, passes away in that fashion, Churban. This is all the mourning of this period, and we lean on each other. And this father told me he got so much chizuk when people made Kabbalahs Le'ilu Nishmas, and he saw the visitors. People came in to visit him that had no shaykhs to him. No shaykhs, but they see a sign, they see an avel. What can I do to be menachem? That's what this period is about. People coming together, learning the lessons of Aaron, uniting all facets of Klal Yisrael. And Bez Hashem, and that schus of being there for each other, helping each other, working with each other, recognizing the chashivas, the gravitas of every single individual, being able to see our potential in that way as well. That will go ahead and turn these days from days of Avelus to days of Simcha, where Bez Hashem will see the Bias Goel B'Meir of Yameinu. Amen.